The next speaker it's my pleasure and honor to invite Dr. Mandal, who is my teacher. Dr. Mandal would be talking on surgical caveat for congenital glaucoma.
Thank you, Pradeep. There is no financial disclosure for me. Primary congenital glaucoma is primarily a surgical disease, and surgery should be performed at an early age as possible. But the question always remains, what is the best primary surgical technique in mild, moderate to advanced stage of the disease? The story started about 85 years ago when Otto Barkan from San Francisco described the first surgical technique of goniotomy. After that, a series of surgical techniques added. With immense pride and humility, I bear witness to the revolutionary changes that have happened in the surgical management of congenital glaucoma. And in this series, we have added one surgical technique also. We'll come to it later on. Otto Barkan in San Francisco described in the year 1936 for open-angle glaucoma. Congenital glaucoma, his paper was published in 1938, and from him, Robert Schaeffer learned and started in University of California. The third picture is Arthur Lister, who from Moorfields went to California to learn and spend some time with Otto Barkan to learn goniotomy and started the job in Moorfields, and later on it was carried forward by Noel Rice and now Pen Khaw. I tried to learn the science and art of managing pediatric glaucoma from my mentor, Professor N.N. Sood, who had the opportunity to do FRCS in Moorfields in mid-1960s and worked with Arthur Lister. Thus, I feel myself very fortunate to be a part of the academic lineage and present before you to talk on this subject. For definite reason, primary combined trabeculotomy and trabeculectomy is the most important surgical
radial
technique.
Incision is then made across the scleral spur. The objective of this radial incision is to cut the external wall of the Slem's canal and to avoid entering into the anterior chamber. This is the most delicate step of the operation and demands most microsurgical skill. The next step is to perform trabeculotomy on each side of the radial incision. Once 90% of the trabeculotome is within the canal, it is rotated into the anterior chamber, and the rotation is continued until approximately 75% of the probe length was entered into the chamber.
Here is the patient, dramatic improvement of corneal clarity and normalization of intraocular pressure, and here is
Catching my gaze with limpid eyes, his mother's arms he refuses to see.
Here is this patient completed 12 years of follow-up. Another child who completed about 15 years of follow-up. So we published a large series of 1128 eyes of 653 consecutive children. I'm not going into the details. And here is a study where 200 patients of 121 eyes who completed at least 21 year of follow-up. A patient who completed 27 years of follow-up. Here is the child who completed 30 years of follow-up. I'm presenting a new surgical technique. A drop of viscoelastic material was placed in the opening of the Slem's canal. Two tying forceps were used to grasp the illuminated microcatheter, placing the tip in alignment with the canal, and the device was advanced into the canal. The lighted tip allowed for the surgeon to visualize the cannulation of Slem's canal for 360 degrees as the catheter was advanced. The catheter was grasped with a forceps when it emerged from the distal end of the canal and was pulled out a little bit. Both the exposed ends of the catheter were pulled in opposite directions using a tangential force like a purse string, thus garroting all 360 degrees of the trabecular meshwork. With the help of venous scissors, the 2 by 2 millimeter trabeculectomy block was removed and an iridectomy was then made. For the sake of time, I am going to present a 1-minute video for this child. The child was born out of non-consanguineous marriage and both the parents were blind because of congenital glaucoma. Simultaneous bilateral primary combined trabeculotomy and trabeculectomy was performed on this baby at the age of 3 weeks when the body weight of the baby was 1200 grams. Compare and contrast the preoperative and the 3 weeks postoperative appearance of the baby. At 6 weeks postoperative, the child had total clearance of corneal edema in both eyes and the bleb appearance was satisfactory. The child is enjoying age-appropriate normal visual acuity in both eyes and the activity of the child is normal and the parents are extremely happy with the surgical outcome.
दो साल पहले मेरे बच्चे का ऑपरेशन इसी अस्पताल में हमने किया था जिसका नाम स्वर्णम है। आज वो 2 साल का हो गया है। ऑपरेशन इतना सक्सेसफुल रहेगा हमें उम्मीद नहीं थी, पर आज हमारा बच्चा हमारा कैसा सहारा बन रहा है आप भी देख सकते हो। कहीं पे भी मेरा बच्चा हमें हाथ पकड़ के लेके जाता है। ऐसा लगता है ये लकड़ी की ज़रूरत अभी एक साल और रहेगी। 1 साल के बाद में अगर वो पूरा समझने लग जाएगा तो हमें ये लकड़ी की भी ज़रूरत नहीं रहेगी। हमारी लकड़ी हमारा बच्चा ही बन गया है। ऑपरेशन बहुत सक्सेसफुल रहा। आज हमारे बच्चे की हमको बहुत मदद होती है। घर में कोई बर्तन गुम जाता है तो बर्तन हमें ढूंढ के देता है। आज बच्चा देख सकता है तो हमें कितना खुशी होता होगा। आपको हम हमारी खुशी शब्दों में बयां नहीं कर पाएंगे। मैं मेरा पूरा परिवार एल.वी. प्रसाद अस्पताल का बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ। विशेषतः मंडल सर और उनकी पूरी टीम का बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ।
Smile, smile.
Thank you so much, Mandal sir,
Thank you.
for giving the ray of hope for their life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation on the congenital glaucoma. As usual.